and this is Check It at the Round Table, where we discuss movies, books, music, and stuff. Today we are discussing the holidays and being sick. So, it's the holiday season. We are coming up to Christmas Eve. The trees decorate. I'm like, this has been like the easiest holiday ever. I'm like, I'm not even sure where the Christmas stocking is, but this year we might not do that. And I'm taking Christmas Eve evening off and at least part of Christmas Day. But 2 days ago, I came down with a sickness. I'm not even sure what kind of sickness. All I know is my throat is sore and I've been running about 2 to 4 degrees below my normal temperature. I keep testing it with one of the things I brought from the States when I left. I was like, I'm getting a thermometer. They might not have them in here. Guess what? Any country in Asia, if you go to a pharmacy, they're going to have a thermometer. Who knew? But still, I'm like, being forearmed. Okay. So anyway, what did I do? Well, the first day, I tried to press through. I was like, I am sick, but I'm going to be fine. I got this. So I continued to teach lessons. Yesterday, I closed out like 2 slots because I honestly was not feeling good, and I took a rest. I was like, that extra, 2 lessons worth of income is not going to make or break me this month. And I've done like 20 more lessons than I did last month. So I'm like, it will be okay. It will all even out by the end of my cycle for my teaching. But anyway, today I was like, I got up. I started teaching half an hour after I normally do in the morning. And I was like, I've got this. I can power through. I can teach another hour than I thought I could. I can so do this. I've got this. But then I'm continuing to feel pretty sick. I'm continuing to feel kind of tired. I'm continuing to realize that even though I can kind of teach English in my sleep, it's not the best of lessons that I'm able to provide in the state, because even though I feel okay, I'm having trouble with a headache, I'm having sore throat, I'm having to take a lot of these coffee lozenges because those are the only ones I can find here apparently. They do have like Halls and all those, but I'm like, who wants to eat menthol lozenges? I mean, no offense, I'm like, I know the sugar is not good, but I'm going, in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to make any terrible difference. But the eating of menthol Halls is maybe going to. So, about halfway through my morning, I was talking to one of my friends back in the States, and they're like, Anna, I know that you do not want to take off, that you want to push through, that you want to do this because you want to work until Christmas Eve, and that's just what you want to do. But might I suggest that you need to maybe rest if you can, because you're not yourself today. And I'm like, I have very good friends, and they are all extremely wise. And I'm going, I think my friends might have a point here, or my friend might have a point here. So today I taught about 5.5 hours. I normally teach about 7.5 to 8 hours. So I'm like, and I had 1 to 2 no-shows today. I mean, it is coming up to Christmas. People are not showing up for lessons as much. And I was like, I'm going to chill. I'm going to relax. I'm going to order a bunch of vitamin water, which I've done. I've been drinking a ton of vitamin water. I'm like, if vitamin C can cure this, I should be swimmingly fine in a day or 2. I've also been drinking a lot of orange juice, and I would love to say that I've been eating really healthy food while ill, but that's my one downfall, because when I get sick, I don't know. I eat so healthy most of the time. But when I get sick, it's like another entity takes over my body and starts munching on things that I never eat. Like, I caught myself eating butter cookies that were Christmas ones in a tin today, and warm marshmallows from the microwave. I'm like, what am I doing? This is not good for promoting health and longevity. And I'm like, I don't care. I feel bad. I want cookies. So I'm like, we all have our downfall. I've also took the extra strength Tylenol, which I brought with me from the States, which if you ever come to Asia, anyone who watches this video, I would highly recommend the two things that they do not have over here. I've noticed, I'm sorry, there's a very upset cat outside my window. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. But anyway, so the two things I would recommend is make sure that you get ibuprofen extra strength. Bring at least 2 big bottles worth. You will need it because you can get headaches here. You can get a fever. You can have a monthly from Hades. I don't know, but you will want the ibuprofen, and you cannot get extra strength ibuprofen here. You can get very small packets of ibuprofen that's like mild strength. I'm like, okay, that works, but it is not nearly as effective. I also brought extra strength Tylenol, which again, I have not seen since being here. Everything is in very small doses and kind of expensive, like $5 to $7 for 6 capsules of the low dosage one. So those are some things that I would bring from the States if I had to again. But so I've taken my extra strength Tylenol. I've taken vitamin C. I've drank a lot of soup broth. I also ordered some clear soup mixes, which I'm going to be doing a video on because they're so cool. And I just got a new rice cooker for my Christmas gift to me. Actually, I didn't know it would be my Christmas gift to me. It was supposed to arrive on Christmas, but it showed up a week early. But I had always assumed that the rice cookers like you see in the K-dramas, like Romance is the Bonus book that Eun-hoon and Danny use to cook their dinner rice, their papin. You know, I always thought that was for, pardon my French, but kind of snooty people. But then I moved to Asia and I'm going, a lot of non-snooty people have these rice cookers. And they are not that expensive, at least where I live. Now, in Korea, the rice cookers are very expensive. But here I'm like, I actually got one for 50% off, so I spent like $20 on this rice cooker. But it not only cooks rice, peeps. It cooks rice. It cooks congee. I can put my soup in there, and it's like a wonderful little Instapot without the huge steamy thing that erupts on the Instapot. And in about an hour and a half, I come back to wonderful soup. I'm like, I messaged one of my friends back in the States, actually the same one that told me to rest today, and I said, you know, I rarely feel this way about things, but I walked out to my kitchen today and pulled out my soup from my rice cooker and was like, where have you been all my life? So I will be making a video on this stupendous rice cooker that I got for a steal. I'm like, when I leave this country, you know, I'm taking the rice cooker with me. I'm like, I don't know if they will have them in the next country, and I'm sure they will not have that exact model, but I really like my rice cooker with me and my 2 suitcases and my rice cooker under my arm. And my Christmas tree. Yeah, okay, we all have goals. But anyway, so I made up some beef stew, which I'm going to have tonight for supper. I have taken the supplements. I've taken the Tylenol. I'm like, I'm going to put one of those little cooling packs from Japan on my forehead. I've turned my aircon up. It's already up, but I'm like, we're going to 25 degrees Celsius tonight because I am hot and I have a fever and I do not want to go take a shower to cool down. And I'm whiny when I get sick. Yeah, this is why I'm going, it is good that I live alone sometimes. This does hit me sometimes. It's like, you know, there are times when I get sick and I eat junk food when I'm sick, or I'm cranky when I'm sick. And I'm like, it's better to live alone in certain situations because that way you're not making someone else uncomfortable by being a little cranky. I mean, not major cranky, but I'm like, today in the afternoon, I was like, I just want to sit here and rest and watch the last Twilight. And yesterday I was like, I closed out those 2 slots and I was like, I am sitting down. I do not feel like watching anything that requires a great deal of mental thought. I'm going to sit and watch Puppy Cats, which if you haven't seen it, it's a very nice little show on Netflix. I'm like, it is absolutely mindless. It is not intelligent at all, but it is really cute and very calm. I'm like, this is Kipper for adults with them removing some swear words along the way. I'm going, I like Puppy Cat. He's kind of a cranky form of tiger. It works for me. So anyway, from Kipper. So I don't know what you guys are doing for the holidays, but I had these plans. I was like, I'm going to go visit these temples. I'm going to go get a massage. I'm going to go do this and this and this on my day off. And then I got hit with this cold. And the one thing I'm realizing, I'm going, I might not get any of those things done. I might not even have a fancy dinner for Christmas because honestly, that is kind of way down the list of the things that I feel like doing right now. Even ordering one in, I'm like, it's not money. It's just mentally the only thing I really want to eat is pizza on Christmas. And I'm going, pizza is not a good plan if you are sick with a fever and a sore throat. The dairy is a bad plan. So I'm like, I might just have soup or some meat that I grill on my electric barbecue or on my table. I mean, something very calm. But I think that the thing is during the holiday season, we think it's really a bright and beautiful time of year. And it is, it truly is. But it's also a time of year where, at least where I come from in the US, everyone runs around absolutely stressed out, trying to reach these goals and these ambitions and all these things they have to do for the holiday. And the truth is, you don't have to do any of those things for the holiday. You just have to be and be at peace and find your inner zen wherever that may be. And if that is, ordering pizza or having spaghetti for Christmas Day, that is not a bad thing. It might be the best thing you could do for Christmas. I know for me, it's like all my plans, they are up in the air. I am definitely not going to the temple tour on Christmas. I'm like, that is not happening because that is only like 2 to 3 days away and I do not feel good. And I do not want to trigger this to come back by going out in really warm weather to go see these lovely temples. I'm like, they might only be, 30 miles from me, but that is 30 miles in the heat after having a fever. That is not a good plan. But I do know that whatever I do, it will be calm. It will be peaceful. It will involve a lovely little Christmas tree. I mean, and I've already gotten my Christmas gifts. I'm like, I did my unwrapping of my rice cooker. I am so in love with it. I could not be happier, whether it's today or Christmas. I also got my lovely Redbubble order, except my Christmas mugs were broken. They arrived all the way from I don't know where they shipped them from, but when they arrived, I heard this jingling in the box. And I was like, I'm guessing that when you get a box from Redbubble and it contains ceramic mugs and you pick it up and it goes jingle jingle, I'm like, that's a bad sign, a bad omen. So I opened it up here last week and I was like, the mugs are broken. The other mug is scratched. I really have no idea how the mug got scratched because it was obviously scratched before it got put in the box because there were all these tiny little scratch marks all around the lid of the mug. I'm going, it's not broken, but it's scratched. And I paid good money for these mugs, even at 50% off. So I messaged Redbubble. I was like, Redbubble? Oh, great Redbubble. The mugs are broken. Everything else is perfection. But can you send me new mugs? I mean, no offense, I don't want the refund. It's not the money, it's the item itself. I want the phone booth Malik mug, and I want the mug of Magnus and Alec in the darkness with the glowing runes and pendant. I'm like, that is way cooler to me than getting a reimbursement that I can spend somewhere else. I'm like, no, I want the mugs. So they messaged me, George did from my brother. He's like, we are sending you a new order. It will be there by the middle of January. I'm like, Christmas in middle of January. I don't care. I get the mugs. So I've already gotten my Christmas gifts. I also splurged because I will be doing podcasts on this later. But I got White Christmas. I also got Going My Way. I was not going to watch them this year because things are a little tight because of health insurance abroad. I will be doing a podcast on health insurance abroad. I'm like, I thought that would be easy. And let's just say by the middle of last week, I was about ready to fly the proverbial flag. And I am a very responsible person. Really, I am. I have everything planned out to the nth degree. And I dot all my I's and my T's. I mean, we all have days, but still, I really try to be responsible. But at the middle of last week, I was to the point where I was like, health insurance is a good thing. Health insurance is a great thing. But if it proves to be this darn difficult to get health insurance, I might just not do that this year. Because I'm like, you're only getting this. So that if something catastrophic happens, you're covered. And let's face it, Anna, you don't do any extreme sports. You hardly go anywhere. The chances of anything even remotely catastrophic happening is like 0.00001%, and over 50% of the world does not even have health insurance, which is not a good thing. I'm not saying it is, but I'm like, and even with the health insurance that I got, I still have to pay up to a deductible, which I'm like, I'm never going to reach that deductible this year. So it really kind of irks me that I even have to pay for health insurance that much. I'm like, I'm paying for something that when I even go to the doctor, I have to pay out of pocket anyway. But it's there so that, if all hell breaks loose, I'm covered. I'm like, and all hell is not going to break loose. So I was sitting here last week going, if I cannot get the payment to the health insurance to go through because of their portal thingy, which is just driving me ape woo woo, I'm like, I will not worry about it and use that money to go on a trip somewhere and go, I tried to get health insurance, but instead I decided to go to, Timbuktu because the portal wouldn't work. And I'm like, no, Anna, I'm sure it will work out. And I have a really good guy who handles my health insurance, and he messaged me. He's like, Anna, it finally went through. For some reason, the portal worked, and we did the account transfer thing. I'm like, okay, thank goodness we found the inner Om here. Okay, but let's just say it was not an easy deal. So I'm like, the holidays. With all the stress from the health insurance and some other stuff that I had to deal with, which I was not planning with this year, I'm like, the first night of Hanukkah, I got some kind of stressful news. I'm like, it's okay. Finder's in. And then, I went through Hanukkah. I chilled. I took care of some stuff. I handled the health insurance. I'm like, we're coming up to Christmas. I'm going to have a calm Christmas. I don't know what I'm doing this Christmas, but the point of this podcast is you don't have to know what you're doing for the holidays. The holidays really aren't about checking off a list to make sure that you do everything that's Christmassy that fits into those boxes. The holidays are about enjoying your time, whether you're alone, whether you're with family, whether you're, with friends, whether you're in your home, whether you're in Timbuktu. The main point is that you enjoy your Christmas and that you have a good time and that you bring joy to others during it. And with that being said, have a Merry Christmas.